Okay, there we go. Are we working? Can everyone hear me? We know the drill. If you can hear me or if you're here, give me a thumbs up, give me a hello, and then we will start moving in. There we go. How are we doing, guys? How are we today? Little bit quieter, a little bit more monotone this week. I know I'll explain that shortly, but I'll give a chance for everyone to get in the call and for everyone to arrive, say good day. Awesome, awesome, Jules, King Chad. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. I hope you guys have had a very good trading week. We'll just give it a little time. Anyone over on the trading view, give us a thumbs up. Give us a wave. Let us know you're here. Mike, how you going? A bit under the weather, but so far so good. I agree, Mike. I am too. I am very under the weather. You can probably tell by the voice, a bit more monotone, and I'm actually sitting down today. I don't remember the last time I did a live stream sitting down, but here we are. So, Andrew, nice to see you, mate. Thank you. You got here early for once. Awesome. I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad you're G'd up today. We've got a couple of things I want to talk about. I don't think it's going to be too crazy because I don't have the energy. Don't have the energy to be able to go crazy. Yeah, exactly. Anyone over on TradingView, just give me a thumbs up to let me know you're there. I just want to ensure that I've got my chat working correctly. If I don't get a thumbs up in the next, 3 minutes, I've probably set it up wrong. So if you are, hi, I'm new from Belgium. Welcome, Erdink. Is it Erdink? Am I pronouncing that right? Welcome, mate. It's great to see you. It's a bit late in Belgium, is it not? That's all right. It's great to see you either way. I think I might have set up the trading view wrong, to be honest. So I'll give it a little second, but I might have to refresh that. Let's give that a go. Alrighty. If you're on TradingView, I've just refreshed it. Give me a thumbs up, give me a hello, give me a wave, give me something to tell me that you can hear me. I'm going to need something from you. But then other than that, we'll start diving into it. We've got a few people live on the YouTube today, which is good to see. I'm glad you guys are here. How are you finding the new update to freestyle? Is anyone taking up that new challenge? We made it a little bit more accessible to more of you by bringing in the price. And nope, isn't with an E like egg, and C is like cha. So okay, I think I'm gonna butcher this. So it's with an E, so it's like Edincha. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher that no matter what. All right, I'm gonna assume the trading view chat's not working because I haven't heard anything. So apologies for that trading view. I'll try to fix that throughout the stream. If not, there's just a fair few people sitting there not typing it, but it's fine either way. This is not a good time for trading, is it? Considering that tomorrow is a holiday. Correct, Bay. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your comment. It's not the best time. Not the best time. You're not going to see a whole lot of volatility. Obviously, right now, like in this minute, we're in the Asian session, so you can kind of fiddle around. If you use the Asian session anyway, you're not going to see a huge difference, and we'll dive into that and have a look at that. But with today being a public holiday here in Australia, and with it being Easter Friday, and so many stock markets closed around the world, there's a good chance we're not going to see a whole lot of volatility, which is okay because what this does is gives us a chance to reflect, gives us a chance to look more in depth at maybe some things we missed throughout the week, or some things that happen that we can learn about and move forward with. So while it is closed and while it is slow for trading, it is a highly beneficial time to be involved. So the few things I wanted to discuss today. I think most of you are going to be 5%ers traders already. There might be a couple guys in here that aren't 5% traders. And the first thing I'm going to chat about is something that more relates to the traders. Spreads are now very high. Yeah, they are. They are. They are for the first hour. Almost perfect. No 8 at the end is fine. Just passed my first challenge. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I'm going to call you Ed. Or Ed. Ed. Hokala. Hokala, right? Mr. Hokala. That's what I'm going to call you. I've probably butchered that as well. Yeah, so spreads are a little bit high. It's because we've just changed over into the new market. You'll notice that they're probably coming down around about. Once we get a bit of more volatility, if we get volatility come in, those spreads will come down a little bit. When looking at the gold is closed. This is the market trading hours. So gold's closed for this hour, and then it'll open. Actually, it should open now. It should open around about. But yeah, gold's. No, wait. Is gold closed on the? I'm not too sure. I can have a look into that. Why is this not working? So I'm just trying to figure out if you are on TradingView right now. There's a couple of you over there I can see. Give me a wave. Or even if anyone's on the YouTube stream and has a TradingView account, if you could go over and just send something in that chat just to ensure that I do have it working and it's just no one talking. But usually we have a couple people talking over there, so I think I might have missed something. But all right, well, forget about that. We'll deal with that later. Sorry if you're on TradingView and you are typing, I can't see you. Otherwise, you're just sitting there in quiet anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm just spelling out. Okay. Yes. So for you guys, there we go. We are working. Hello, Uma. We are working. Everyone, calm down. We're working. And Spartan, thank you. Fantastic. For you guys that are in the Discord, the 5%ers Discord, and if you're not in the Discord but you are a 5%ers trader, if you go through your trading dashboard, you can find a link to the dashboard to the Discord. Alex has just announced a new challenge. He's just put it out there in a new chat, which is called the Chart of the Week. What this is every Sunday we're going to release a chart, probably a 1 hour chart, and put it out there. And your job is to analyze this chart and predict where it's going to be at the end of the week. All right, and you're going to send those those analysis into us. We're going to have everyone's analysis there. And then at the end of the week during this live stream, we're going to run through a couple of the analytics, my analytics before obviously what played out, plus a load of traders analysis, run through them and see where the price ended up. It's going to be a bit of fun, a bit of a challenge to test people. A great opportunity for a lot of people to learn, but also to step out of their comfort zone in sharing analysis. And we're also going to have a couple prizes and a couple different things for the guys who get the analysis right. So stay tuned for that. If that interests you, a little bit of a challenge. In the Discord, there's a new chat channel called Chart of the Week, or COTW. And the new chart will be coming out on Sunday. So it's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be good. I'm going to be a big part of it. And obviously we're going to talk about it at the end of the week here as well. So keep an eye on that. If that interests you, just a little bit of fun and games, build a community spirit, and meet a load of people. You might even find that a lot of people do very similar setups to you, and you might even find yourself a trading partner. So who knows? Uma, I don't trade Bitcoin, but I'll analyze it for you in a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to do that just yet. Stay cool, awesome, Kickjack, nice. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are pumped for that because I'm pretty pumped for that. I think it'll be a good little community building aspect. So it'll be good to see. Hello, Spartan, how you going? All right, what I wanted to run through as well is, after we've touched on that, if anyone has any questions or any pointers that they would like to discuss on that, feel free at any point to just yell at me and I'll get around to it. I wanted to run through the 2 trade ideas I put up this week. Very few, and it's because I've been quite ill over the past week that I haven't been too focused. Yesterday was my first real trade view idea. Well, it wasn't really an idea, it was more of a video. If you haven't seen that, please go check it out. It's probably my best, or the video I'm most proud of over on the trading view. It's called Let's Get Real, Stop Strategy Jumping. And what I'll do is I'll show you here This is the video here. Okay, I sit down and I have a very serious talk about why you should stop strategy jumping. We'll just play a random bit here. I've got it muted. Back testing results, trade at live forward testing, achieve good results, get overconfident, fall into a drawdown, throw out the strategy, start again. Just a little bit of a snippet. Highly recommend you go check that out if you haven't. It was very personal. It was very real, very raw, and it's content you probably haven't seen on TradingView before, even on YouTube. I was willing to spit the facts on what it really is like in the industry, and what you need to do to get above that. So if you haven't had a look, save it. Go have a look after this video, and we can talk through that. The two things I wanted to talk through were the Euro Great British Pound even pricing and the Great British Pound early stages of a trade setup. I didn't take any trades this week. There was a couple of opportunities, but as I said, I was feeling very unwell. My head frame just was not there. I wasn't spending too much time on the screen, so I didn't bother risking any money. I went risk off. This trade right here on Great British Pound CAD, I put out on the 11th of April, and it currently is the 15th of April, so 4 days ago, of an early setup. Now, what I wanted to see was a push higher, a break of structure, then a pull back into this green area here, and then a run higher again, okay? So as this was unfolding and as we were doing this, I spoke about it as an early stage. You can tell I was unwell because there's not a whole lot of typing here. I wanted that push up and a break of structure, which we did see. And if we play here, we had a push up and a break of structure right here, which we did see, and a pullback. The thing is, we just didn't pull back enough into that demand area. Realistically, there probably was some demand in this area right here, but this is the area I really wanted it. It didn't get in there, and then it went and broke structure again, so then I avoided my trade. So I didn't trade on this. While the analysis was right, and everything that happened I did predict to happen and want to happen, I didn't trade it because it didn't fall exactly how I wanted it to. We had a long spike here, almost got in and then a push back up, but once again, I wouldn't have traded it because we'd already broken structure again. It's created a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. Now for you guys to trade Elliott wave theory, you start with looking for a turn maybe around this point. So that was how that trade played out. We didn't have a actual trade on it, but the analysis was there and the prediction was correct. In terms of the Euro Great British Pound, how many backtesting trades do you recommend to assume that a strategy is reliable? Depending on how you trade, look, the more you have, the better day. The more data you have, the more trades you've tested, the more consistent it is. So rather than aim for a number that is reliable, have so much data that your head explodes that you know over years and years of trading it's still profitable. Because if you test like 100 trades, sure, you're gonna get a good gauge of where that's gonna get you in the future with that 100 trades. But if you have like 1,000, 2,000 trades, I know it's a lot of work, it's scary, just hear me out. If you have like 2,000 trades, you know that strategy's worked for years and years, and you've got that long-term data that you can understand and expect what levels of drawdowns it can give, so you understand what level of risk. You know what type of returns you can get. You can calm down a lot more when it comes into moving drawdowns because you know that it can get a lot worse than that, and it has in the past. So you can kind of manage that actively. It's not a big deal that this is happening. We've just got to trade through it. So I don't recommend a certain number because it depends on how you trade. I mean, if you trade on a 5-minute chart and you take 20 trades a day, you can backtest for a week and have 100 trades. But like this week's worth of volatility is not the same as next week's or the week after or the week before. So you want as much data rather than counting on exact amount of trades. You want time. You want time and data and compile that all in to be able to And it's hard work and it takes a lot of time and a lot of commitment, but it's trading. It's perceived as an easy job, not an easy job. You got to put in the hard work. Hi, how you going? Good to see you. Good to see you, Cor. All right, back into this. On Euro Great British Pound, I said even pricing. We entered a bit of a range here, and then I discussed. We've had a very good uptrend moving in the CPI data for the pound over the past 6 months. It's forecasted to do another 0.5% increase. Okay. In the event the CPI matches forecasts for the pound, we're going to see this pair head to the downside given the strength and the money flooding into the pound, right? Because it's the quote currency, not the base. So if we had a look back at the previous week, and we're going to filter in where the pound is, and we're going to have a look at the CPI data, which is here. We were predicting a 0.5% increase from 6.2 to 6.7. We actually got a 0.8% increase from 6.2 to 7 flat. Okay, very good news for the pound. We're expecting a lot of money to be coming into the pound. You can see all this data right here was better than expected. Really, really good. As you can see, if we hit play here, broke out to the bottom side. Unsurprisingly, CPI data was good. We're going to break out of that range. We're going to move to the downside. The Euro Great British Pound call went down well, Jordan. It did. It did park. It was very, very simple fundamental play. And you can look for obviously a breakout and a retest given that CPI data was positive because we knew that money would be flooding into the pound. If we're getting good data like that, which is showing growth in economy, there's a good chance that more people are going to want to buy that pound. So, it did end up well. It'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. Whether we continue in this downtrend or whether we start to look to reverse. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the euro can do because the euro is very skeptical with everything that's happening over there at the moment. But it was a good call. It was a good call considering I was very unwell. That was probably my favorite call of the week. But that was it. Just those three. Just those three this week. It has been a very quiet week on the trading view, and apologies for that. I didn't do my where is it? I didn't do the Forex Weekly economic calendar, and I apologize for that. On Monday, I couldn't get out of bed. So I struggled with getting that done, and I apologize. But I'll get it done next Monday, coming around into the next week to have a look. Obviously, today I wouldn't advise trading as we got pretty much no. The data's slow today across all pairs because it's Easter Friday. You can see what have we got. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, nothing too crazy tonight. Nothing that's really going to move the market. There's not going to be many traders running it. Can you show us what you saw on Great British Pound Aussie Dollar on longer time frames for your analysis, or did you only focus on the 4-hour chart? Great British Pound Aussie Dollar. Oh, sorry, Great British Pound CAD. This one? I sure can. So I'm mostly focused on the 4-hour chart there, right? If I go any higher up, I'm going to find myself trading those higher time frames, and I don't want to be trading the daily chart. So Great British Pound CAD, here we go. All right, this is the analysis, right? It's the same image, what we're looking at. If you do look out, as I said, if you look out further and further out, I'm looking for a bit of a pullback, obviously. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. We've had a very solid run, right? And how often does this pair have a very solid run without a pullback? Not very often, right? So when we do get this solid run, I'm like, okay, a pullback's going to be coming in soon. I'm not looking to catch this whole pullback because then I'm trading the daily chart. I'm not there to trade the daily chart. I'm there to trade the 4-hour, 1 hour, or 15-minute. Mostly the 1 hour, but the 4-hour is my external analysis, and then I look for the entries on the 1 hour and the 15. So I pulled into the 4-hour chart, and I was looking for the very similar setup. If you look through all of my trade view ideas, sorry, just excuse me one moment. Apologies. If you look through all of my trading view ideas, I trade a very similar setup in all of them, right? We look for 2 breaks of structure, a pullback into demand, and a run. And usually there's some indication very early on, like this trade idea was that we're going to get that. We had a break of structure after a potential double bottom, a pullback, and then followed by another break of structure, which was, I predicted this to happen here. We went up, we did break structure here, and we pulled back. I wanted to get in here. If we had got in here, I would have been looking to go long, and that literally would have probably been my trade there. I mean, I would have took that 100 pips about that. So I'm not looking to take it all the way back up. So 4 hour kind of is the highest time frame I'll go. It's good to get overall, confirmation with the higher time frames. I use more of a fundamental approach. I like, looking at what data is coming out to build a bias on the currency pair, on which way it's going to go. Some people prefer looking at higher time frames, which, I mean, the bias prints on higher time frames because people are buying given the economic data. So when we did get that push up and a pullback, I wanted to get it a little bit lower. It didn't come in, and then it ran up to the top, which is okay. So I didn't have a trade, but that was the analysis there. Do you have any more questions on Great British Pound CAD? I hope that explained it for you. But I didn't do too much analysis on the further out time frames because I already had a pretty bullish affiliation. I guess that's not really the word I'm looking for. Affiliation with the pound. Now I know the pound CAD's been moving in a downtrend, but the data for the pound hasn't been overly terrible. So I think it's a bit wrongly priced. I think there's more people just buying into the CAD. So I knew the pound could find a bit of strength, and I wasn't looking for much. Like, this is all the strength I was looking for, 100 pips, but I knew it had the potential in there, so that's why I started looking there. And you don't use Fibonacci retracements for the retracement? How do you define the zones in which to price retracements? No, I don't use Fibonacci. Okay, so I've traded for a long time. So while I don't use the Fibonacci tool, come in and go like this and look for a retracement, it's very easy for me to blind eye a retracement, right? It's very easy for me to see, okay, that pulled back about 60%, or okay, that one pulled back maybe about the same, about 60%, all right? While I don't use the Fibonacci tool itself, I use supply and demand areas. Excuse me. Sorry. The joys of being unwell. I use supply and demand areas and support and resistance. I look all around there when we try to move higher. That's the areas I find. So wherever, if we moved up like this, okay, and we had a break of structure, okay, which is a solid move. And this solid move originated right here, which tells me the buying power is right there. Okay, the demand for the product is there. And then we come up and then we back down, and then around here, that's where the buyers wanted back in again. That's where the buyers were going to take it. That's the even price. And it managed to break structure again. Okay, very, very marginally, but it did break structure. Okay, orders were printed above here. Once we broke structure again, all the buying power was in here. That was the even price. There might be a lot of orders in here that haven't been filled yet. So when price comes back down, we might see them be filled, or a lot of people that want to get in at this price. We come back down. We just didn't get low enough, but I wanted it to run up. So this trade's done and dusted. I can pretty much go ahead and remove all these and start looking elsewhere now, because it's done. I missed the trade. It's not a bad thing. It's not a terrible thing at all. If anything, I'm quite happy that I was risk off this week. The way I'm feeling, my decision making can be clouded when you're unwell. So overall, it was just good analysis, and it didn't work out the way I wanted to, which is okay. No worries, Day. I'm happy I could explain that for you. All right, a couple of you guys over on the Trading View are yelling at me about things you want analyzed, so I'll have a quick look. Okay. There's not too much that I like doing. Bitcoin. Very similar setup here, right? So it's not very clean. It's been delayed, but push up, break of structure against the trend, right? Which introduces us to a demand area. A pullback into that demand area here, and then push up. We haven't got a break of structure yet up here. We have now, and you can argue that that break of structure comes from here. The thing is, it's not very clean. It's not very nice, and it's not something I would trade. But you could look to go bullish somewhere here on the daily chart and bring it back up into maybe these regions. I'm not sure. Once again, it's not something I trade, but you want to analyze, so I had a look and analyzed it for you. Hi Stephanie, it's good to see you. Don't be sorry. Don't ever be sorry for being late. It's okay. It's nice to see your beautiful face. Welcome. On Aussie dollar, Japanese yen short, you want to buy into the Japanese yen. Interesting play. Now, I understand why you want to buy into the Japanese yen, because if you look across all the Japanese yen pairs, you can see it has moved a lot. Why has it moved a lot? Well, the Japanese yen is extremely weak right now, for a range of different things, which is interesting that you want to buy into it. But I think the main reason you want to buy into it is because of this big move. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. You want a pullback at some point because it's moved so far that you want to catch the pullback. Not too sure how strong this pullback's going to be. Not too sure if I want to be buying the Japanese yen right now. There's a reason it moved like this. It's because there's a lot more sellers of the Japanese yen than there are buyers of the Japanese yen. If you look previously in history, we have had moves like this before, and they have kind of been retraced a lot. Here, here, pullback, but it did take a fair amount of time to cover these areas once again. And you're probably going to need some changes in news, maybe pair it against a weak currency. Wouldn't pair it against the Aussie dollar. I'm quite bullish Aussie dollar at the moment. I think if you're going to look to short it against anything, the euro might be good, given the circumstances in Europe at the moment. If you're going to look to buy into the Japanese yen, I would look for the euro as the pair there. But yeah, it's going to be tough. It's a tough trade. I understand why you see it, and I understand why you see an opportunity here. But there's a reason it moved the way it did, right? And it's because the Japanese yen is very weak. The data they're getting is not good at all. A lot of these, they're forecasting negative data, and it's coming in even lower than what they forecasted, even though they were forecasting bad data. So yeah, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. But if you're gonna buy into the Japanese yen, just buy it into another weak currency. Don't buy it into a strong currency, because look at the difference in the chart here, right? Euro, Japanese yen, and if we compare it, how do we do the compare again? Compare it to the US dollar, Japanese yen. Look at that. Can we? Okay. If we compare these two, look at how it's run a lot differently. Okay. So here we've got the US dollar, Japanese yen, and the US dollar is quite strong at the moment. So it's clearly having a better bull run. Okay, which already gives you incentive that not only is this move buying into the US dollar, but it's also shorting the Japanese yen. Whereas people don't really want to buy the euro right now. No one's thinking, yes, let's go put a load of money into the euro, right? So while this chart did move up, it hasn't done anything too amazing because no one really wants the euro at the moment with the war going on, okay? And you can see here, we kind of had a flat. We had a liquidity grab push up. Here, we just had a flat and a massive breakout in the long run. If you look at the prices of difference, from there to there, 1,300 pips. From here to here, 1,000 pips. Bit of a difference there. When it comes to shorting a pullback or buying into a weak currency, make sure you pair it against something else that's weak. Because if you try and short a pullback on a currency that is strong, I think it's not going to end well. If it does end well, it's just not going to go as far as you really want it to go. We can look at a range of different things when we do that. But while you might still get a pullback on the Aussie dollar Japanese yen, as I said, I'm quite bullish Aussie dollar at the moment. While you might get a little pullback, you might get a pullback to about here and then a push up, right? Whereas on Euro Japanese yen, you might get a pullback to about here and then a follow up. And all of a sudden you've got this, much better levels of take profits and risk to take. So something to take into account when you're shorting these big moves. Sorry for rambling on about that. But the big moves do happen for a reason, and unless you see a change in the economic data of people, actually wanting to start buy the Japanese yen, maybe. What have we got next week? Trade balance is going to be pretty big. They're expecting improvement. They're forecasting improvement on the trade balance. If we do get improvement on the trade balance, maybe then we'll start seeing some buying in this. Okay, the CPI is also expected to improve. Maybe you might start seeing some if they can get this data positive next week, you might see some bullish movements in the Japanese yen. Analysis for GMT. Are you talking about? I'm going to go ahead and assume you're talking about the crypto. There's not a whole lot of data for me to give any analysis on this, is there? I don't trade cryptos very often, so I'm assuming you're not talking about the New Zealand stock. So another. Next got more data. Yeah, no. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to analyze that for you because one, I don't trade cryptos, but also it's a little messy. Yeah, so for you guys that missed it, and Stephanie, you'll know too, we announced a new little challenge, a little fun game in the Discord. If you're a 5%ers trader, go to your trader dashboard and there'll be a link in there to get onto the dashboard, into the Discord. We've announced a little challenge where we're going to put out a chart every Sunday, and it's your job to go and analyze that chart, draw your drawings, do what you got to do, predict where it's going to be by the end of the week. And then at the end of the week, we're going to look through a load of those analysis, a couple of pointers, bit of educational content, also see how the chart played out itself with my analysis too. And then the guys that get it right is going to be open to a few little prizes, a couple of different competition stuff, a little bit of benefits. It's going to be all around a good bit of fun on that, within that community, and bring everyone closer together, and also chat to a few more traders about different things. So if you're not in the Discord and you are a 5%ers trader, head over there. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be good. All around, I'm pretty excited for that too. Paul wants to talk about gold. I guess we'll talk about gold. I don't have a whole lot planned for today's trading room. As I said, I am feeling very under the weather. So this is a bit more of a trading room where we can just talk about analytics. I was going to review all of obviously the stuff we did this week. We've already done that. I didn't do too much this week, feeling pretty unwell. If you haven't seen this video, please go watch it. It's detrimental in so many ways. Go give it a watch. And if you haven't checked this one out either, about the stock screener, it's pretty good too. Okay. Apologies for not doing the weekly economic calendar this week. I'll work on it next week. I'll do the one next week when hopefully I feel a lot better. Gold. Okay. I want to have a look at the S&P. It is no. Okay, we're gonna just go ahead and line it, and then we're also gonna go ahead and line it. All right, gold and the S&P 500. Do we see a difference here, a correlation? Okay, Everyone says it's a safe haven asset. Well, you can see a bit of a correlation. Now, this is just the S&P 500. Gold's a safe haven asset for kind of everything. But if you just look at the, for example, if I bring in here the US dollar currency index, why has it come all the way down there? That's not ideal. Yeah, no, that's not going to help us. Okay, don't worry about that. If you look at the overall markets everywhere, you're going to see that gold's a safe haven, right? And we understand that. I think everyone understands that gold's a safe haven asset. When you start to see stocks rally in the S&P, okay, now the S&P 500 is probably the biggest mover of gold, other than like war and news. When you start seeing these big movements, you'll notice it correlates with big movements to the downside in gold. Okay, when you start seeing bull runs happen, you start seeing bear runs in gold, because people are starting now getting. It's more advertising to be in stocks and companies than it is to be in gold, because it doesn't move a whole lot. Okay, when it comes down to actual technical analysis, which is more what you want me to do, there's not a whole lot I'm seeing as an actual trade opportunity. I'll get a little bit lower here, but yeah, gold's a tough one because it's so volatile yet so steady. It's such a strange asset that we can get such large and intermission movements but still go nowhere. Which is just funny. It's just funny the way it works. So we've obviously been in a bit of a range. We broke out towards the top side. This range was actually established a little bit earlier than that. Where do we go from here? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. It's so tough to build analytics on this pair because it's so inflicted by news. Okay, it's so detrimental and reactive, especially to the war that we have at the moment. So if the war starts getting bigger and riskier, gold goes up. If the war starts to die down and stocks are looking better, gold goes down. And that's all it is. It's just people flooding safe haven assets. Yeah, I don't really have an answer for you, Paul. I'm sorry, but I'd say like, oh, we broke out of this resistance, so we can start looking to go long. But this here is just so messy. It's just so messy. We have obviously a large area of imbalance right here, so we probably could see the price get back up to that area in between here and here. And then right here, we obviously have a very strong area of supply. Okay. So if we do start looking to the upside, you've got your target areas. If you don't want to buy into it, which I don't want to do, up in these areas, you've got your short, right? You've got your short areas on where you want to be looking to go short. So I hope that kind of helps you. But yeah, it's tough to formulate just an analysis and a bias off of thin air. I like to have some kind of reasoning behind my trade idea, and I've got no reason to trade gold, so it's tough for me to sit here and go, yes, let's trade it, because it doesn't coincide with my strategy. There's nothing in my strategy here that's popping up. Maybe down on the 1 hour. Yeah, okay, on the 1 hour, we've got a potential opportunity to go short, but it's still so messy. I mean, look at this. It's just horrible. But we have had a break of structure, pullback, into this area. If we get another break of structure, then we can look for a pullback into here and then go short. But yeah, it's too messy for me. I just don't like it. I like to see a nice clean chart, something like, I'm still on the 1 hour here, but a bit cleaner. You know what I mean? We've got clear movement here. Break of structure, pullback, break of structure. potential long right here. Don't want to be buying into the euro. Just keep that in mind. Could have something like that. And the reason I've been pulling that up quickly, remember this is 1 hour. I prefer to do this on the 4 hour. We've had a break of structure there, just ever so marginally. And now we're going to pull back. If we're going to pull back into this area, then we can start looking down on the 15-minute, 1 hour chart. So we'll have to start looking maybe on the 5 minutes to find an entry point or some kind of confluence that we're going to go longer. Tough one. There's not a whole lot out. And as I said, I'm not going to be trading today either because it's Easter Friday for me. And it's a public holiday, so the stock market's shut and there's not going to be many people trading in that sense. Does anyone have any more questions? Preferably less analytical questions and more questions that we can kind of discuss. I don't want to give you guys any biases, which I don't believe in, because I don't have an overall bias for the market at the moment. The only one is buying the pound, shorting the Japanese yen. Realistically, is what I like. So then you would look on Great British Pound, Japanese yen, and try to find the opportunities within that, which there were plenty. Plenty. Paul, let's have a chat. Where are these charts coming from? Why are you asking these questions? Okay, let's dig a little bit deeper. What's do you have trades in these? Could you just ask me to short the Aussie dollar? And I said just before that I have quite a bullish sentiment on the Aussie dollar. So I'm just curious to see where you're getting what's driven you to have me analyze these charts. What's the story behind it? Ever on YouTube, guys, if you have any questions, please pipe up. There's a lot of people that come into these streams that are quite shy or scared to pipe up. So when you ask that question, we can actually assess a lot of people in one go. So please, even if you have a question that you don't exactly want answered, it can always be good to help others in my explanation for that as well. We won't be going for too much longer today. We're going to be a little bit shorter because of monotone. And it's not been full of energy as we usually are, but that's expected when you're unwell. So, yeah, a bit of value time, shall we? Questions, send them through. Let's go ahead and head back over here, shall we, so you can see me. Yeah, other than that, there's not a whole lot of analysis that I can see unfolding in the future here. Next week will be interesting. We can have a look at the news that we can get next week. I'm not too sure on. I know a lot of you guys don't follow the news, which is okay. I guess if you're built completely on technical analysis, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine, but it is a good idea to. Sorry, I just got distracted there. It is a good idea to also have confluence when it comes down to economic data as well in all the trades that you're taking, because then you can justify why it's going to be bullish. You know, if the economy is growing, the value of that economy is going to be worth more. If it's showing sustainable growth, people are going to be buying it, which will give you a bias of, okay, I want to buy the Aussie dollar. I don't want to be shorting against it. I don't want to be. While there may be opportunities and they may work out, the power is not there. You're trading pullbacks rather than trading with the trend. You can find the trends earlier than what the chart can print. Not a question really. I'm just staying away from euro pairs until the election's done. There's a European election coming up. What's the... Oh, the French? The French election? Is that what you're talking about? We also have the federal election in Australia coming up as well, so keep an eye on that into the future. Which government takes that? Yeah, the market's reaction to which government wins that election is going to be interesting. Going to be very interesting. How long have I been trading for? A little. Oh, actually, I think we're approaching 6 years now. We're getting very close to 6 years. Wow, that's a long time. Sorry, excuse me. I'm just gonna. Oh, apologies, guys. Apologies. Yeah, approaching 6 years. Incredible. I've had a great journey so far, and it's still going. So it is very, very fulfilling, this line of work. I do love working here. 6 years. What's my favorite instrument to trade? Aussie dollar, Japanese yen recently, because I like trading it in the Asian session. It moves. It's probably one of the most volatile during the Asian session. You can probably still get a bit of movements in the Great British Pound, Japanese yen, but the Aussie dollar, Japanese yen at the moment is probably my favorite. In the sense that I can trade it during the Asian session, and for that reason only. Other than that, I don't really have a favorite instrument because it depends on what's flashing me. You know, and it depends what's telling me, hey, come over and trade me. The opportunity's there. The opportunity's there. I don't love trading the euro at the moment for obvious reasons. I don't love trading the Canadian dollar. I'm a little skeptical of as well, but I do think we're going to start seeing a bullish turn in the pound. So I'm getting better. Like I'm sitting in the middle with the pound, growing a bullish sentiment, but at the same time still in that still a bit bearish. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. But in terms of favorite instrument, I'm not sure. I used to stay focused on technical only until I slapped numerous times. The more confluence, the better. So now I can't ignore the news. Exactly, King Dad. It's like buying a stock and then not reading the earnings report. Like it's the main thing that indicates whether the company is worth holding or not. Same thing in forex. You know, it's like buying into a currency and then not reading the economic data from it. Do you find trading Aussie dollar Japanese being best being Australian yourself? Yeah, I guess it does have a play in that. That I understand the Aussie dollar a bit more, being in Australia, and I can see firsthand the economy and different events in that. I guess that will have a play and a bit more of an emotional attachment to the Aussie dollar and the Japanese yen being in the same area as well. But as a whole, it was more because I have that inducted volatility during the Asian session. And having that volatility during the Asian session means we can make money during those quiet hours of the session when it's actually my daytime, and I can do that as well. Hi, Park. Nice to know you're still here. You found something funny. That's good. Your favorite's gold. I'm assuming you like trading gold because of the volatility of it. A lot of people do like trading gold, and they also like the idea of trading gold. What type of style trader am I? Which do you feel most profitable? So majority of my trades, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Majority of the trades are the ones I put a lot of work into my intraday. More the 4-hour and the 1-hour charts, the ones I talk about on TradingView. But then I also trade fundamentals, so economic releases, the ones that I can get a good idea of prior, whether I trade it pre-actively or proactively. Depends on the data itself, but I do like making fundamental plays as well as I wouldn't say scalping, because in the Asian session it's hardly a scalp. While it will only move 10, 20 pips, you still end up holding the trade for like 2, 3, 4 hours. So yeah, I kind of all round, but I guess the most profitable one I'd come from would be my 4-hour and 1-hour analysis, and the way I run that. But yeah, you're a scalper at heart, but I've been holding swing trades on my freestyle challenge, which is currently 300 pips up. Fantastic. Yeah, just keep those drawdowns low on the freestyle. That's all you need. That's all you need to keep those drawdowns low, and you'll get that profit factor through. A lot of people like scalping because they like the energy and the adrenaline that comes from it. A lot of people get adapted to that and addicted to that as well, which is tough to break if you start getting addicted to that. While it is great fun and you can switch off at the end of the day, there are a few people that get a little bit too into it and start drawing on the line of gambling, which can be a big issue, especially for trader mentality. My best trade of my career, a couple come to mind. And the funny thing is about this, Jonathan, is almost all of the ones that come to my mind are negative trades. Okay, they're trades that lost money, which is going to probably surprise most people. But some of my best ever trades and the trades I am most proud of in my whole career are trades that ended up being losers. And the reason they are my best trades and I'm so thrilled about losing money, is because I did everything right. I did every single thing how I should have done. My emotions were good. I checked in. I read how I was feeling. I made the decision on what to do. I believe it was one of the trades about a year ago. I think I was shorting the Euro Swiss franc, I think it was. And the setup was there. The strategy was saying, yep, hey guys, we've got a good trade here. We've got a good trade. It's coming in. And I was like, okay, awesome. I read my emotions. I did my trading journal and I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little anxious about this. I'm not feeling great. Previously, when I looked through my journal and every time I felt the exact way I wrote down, it ended up being a loser. So what I did was half my risk. I halved my risk there. And traded it exactly pinpoint to how I backtested and exactly pinpoint to how it should be traded. And then it ended up losing. Nothing I could have done different. Nothing, like maybe not take the trade, but through backtesting, I was supposed to take the trade. Nothing I should have done different. It was absolutely the perfect setup, the perfect trade. It just didn't go my way. And that's one of the ones I'm most proud of because I can sit back and go, I did everything I was supposed to do. I followed my plan. I followed my strategy. I listened to my emotions. I did everything I was meant to do. Yes, it lost. It is what it is. But I know I traded that perfectly. And they're some of the trades that I'm most proud of in my career. I don't really care about the profits. Profits come. The profits come when you stop losing money. It's related. If you focus on not losing money, you'll get profits. It does happen. I can relate to that. Winning because you violated your rules feels undeserved, I find. Exactly. Yeah, if I could have let's say I come in on this chart here, right? And let's say I shorted at the top here and it went down and I made, let's go pull it in, I made 10R and I passed the prop firm challenge, you know what I mean? And it was fantastic. That was amazing. That was the best trade I've ever done. But then like looking back, my strategy is like, I should never have sold here. There's nothing that tells me in my strategy that I should sell here and blah, blah, blah. Then you get lost in the elevation of winning this trade that you realize you broke your rules and you'll go and break those rules another 4 times and all 4 of those times it'll be losers. And then you'll start blaming the strategy that's the issue and you'll move on. But realistically, you just didn't follow your own rules. So yeah, you got to be sure that not to let the result of a trade affect how you feel about the trade. Always check and make sure you traded the trade exactly how you planned, exactly how you wanted to. And then you can walk away happy. If over a long time you're still not making money, but you are trading that perfectly and you know you're trading that perfectly, then maybe a cane strategy is an issue. But other than that, I'm glad you agree, Park. Fantastic. I hear that. It's good you didn't let your emotions control you. Yeah, I don't like using the word control, especially around emotions. And I've discussed this plenty of times before. A lot of people and a lot of educators out there in the market tell you to control your emotions. Guys, don't try to control your emotions. Never gaslight or bottle in emotions and control them and ignore them. Listen to them. They're signals. They're trying to tell you something. We just got to understand what they're trying to tell you. Never try to, and I know you're not saying this, Jonathan. Don't worry. I'm just putting two and two together. But never try to control your emotions or let your emotions control you. There's no control happening. It's just they're trying to tell you something. Learn what they're trying to tell you. Now, if you get fear of missing out every time a trade comes, listen to your body, write it down, find the reason it's giving you this fear of missing out. Address that issue, and then you won't get fear of missing out again. Or if you do again, you know what to do. You got the step-to-step progress. So, but never try to control or subdue or anything with your emotions. Just listen to them. Find a way to listen to them, and then find the real issue. Why do you have a fear of missing out? Why are you scared of losing money? Why are you scared that this trade's going to run and you take profit before you get in? Who cares? There'll be another opportunity. Listen to stuff like that. Listen to stuff like that. What's your daily routine before you start day trading? I'm usually in the office doing stuff with the 5%ers before I start day trading. But very simple. Alarm, wake up, shower, breakfast, coffee, get in. Get into the market. I'll have a look what economic release. I've usually got an idea at the start of the week what economic data is coming out, what my overall bias is, and then I'll dive into the chart. I do a lot of other work for the firm as well, so it's not all trading. So there is my routine's a bit mixed coming through there, working on different projects, delivering high value content for you guys and stuff like that. So sometimes it can be a little bit messy in terms of having a routine. But in terms of what I do every morning, I guess, because I day trade from pretty much from 9 a.m. Till about 2 p.m. maybe. I sit prime in the Asian session there. It'll be a matter of, wake up, shower, coffee, food, deep breaths, get the day started, get into it. I don't have a whole lot more. I don't do any like yoga or any of that stuff. I've tried it. It just didn't work for me. Just wasn't beneficial for me. Very interesting perception on emotions there, Jordan. I like it. I'm glad you like it. It's true. It's just what you got to do. It's true. Being rewarded while not being disciplined only reinforces more undisciplined behaviors. Exactly right, King Jed. Exactly right. 100%. What aspirations would you like to achieve this year, in 5 years, and in the future? Whew. That's a big question, Jonathan. That's a big question. Look, there's plenty of things I want to do. Plenty of things I want to do for the firm. Plenty of things I want to do for myself. Plenty of things I want to do in trading. Plenty of things I want to do in life. So build more equity. It's one of my aspirations, and do it at a slow pace, because I've built equity in the past and done it way too quick. And when I did it that quick, it messed with my head, and I went terrible trading run and lost a bit of money. So I want to build my equity slow, which is why the 5%ers gives you that opportunity to build it slow. Because trust me, going from something like $20,000 account to a $500,000 account, there is a big difference in your decision making, and I've felt that firsthand. I really struggled making that jump. So build more equity at a slower pace than what I have in the past. I want to develop more ways to connect with you guys with the firm, and even potentially go down the route of mentorship. Not educational stuff. I'm not a big fan of teaching people strategies and that type of stuff. I am a big fan of the one-on-one meetings we do, helping people battle their emotions in trading and getting to that next step once they already know how to trade. So not so much a trading coach that you get out there on the website, but more of a performance coach. I don't want to teach anyone how to trade, but I want to help them be a better trader themselves. potentially down that. There's a million different avenues. There's a million different avenues. It's a big question, Jonathan. Sorry for not giving you a direct answer. Park, random one. Do you find your eyesight deteriorated since trading because of screen time? 120%. 100%. I got a pair of glasses here, which I use. I've worn glasses since I was young, so it's not a big issue. And I don't need them all the time. I can clearly see and read without them right now. But over the past probably about 2 years, during the whole COVID, where I've spent more time on the screens than I probably ever have, plus upgraded to two very large monitors, yeah, my eyes have definitely deteriorated. 120%. It does have an effect. I need to get some blue light filters and some better glasses, but yeah, 100%. 100%. You 100K with building slow equity, although I personally have quite an aggressive plan to reach 4 million on freestyle this year. Just be careful, Jonathan, because it's not easy. It's a lot easier said than done. You're like, yeah, I'll just do the same thing, but all of a sudden, when your losses go from $100 to $100,000 or $50,000 in one trade, that has a play on you. Whether you like it or not, that has a play on you. And I took that jump. Too early in my career. What I was guaranteed. I convinced myself that yep, I could do it. I definitely can do that. That's me all over. I was trading consistently for long enough. I was like, I can make that move. I got on the bigger account with some money, and did not go well. Now, unfortunately, this was like before I learned all about prop firms. So I found another means of capital raising. So it was a little bit more pressure on that sense as well. Is I was dealing with other people's hard-earned money rather than a prop firm who was willing to take the risk. So it was, just be careful in the way you do that. You got aspirations and especially philanthropy I want to achieve. Fantastic. Thanks for being so chatty today, Jonathan. I appreciate it. Did your family believe in your journey of Forex, or did they see it as a pipe dream? Ooh, you're coming out with the big ones today. Very big ones. Look, it's an interesting one, okay? Because it depends on how it is. Now, some members of the family and friends, they didn't understand, and because they didn't understand it, it was scary, right? They didn't understand. They were like, no, you need to go get a job. Like you need a job to make money. Like that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? Whereas moving in the future, it's not necessarily the way anymore. You can make money through a whole range of different avenues, and trading forex was the way I was trying to make money. So there was a bit of confliction there where they kind of felt I was wasting my time while I was doing my study on the market. But then I also had some other members of the family which not understood forex, but understood the potential in forex, and that it was a step forward in a new way of thinking, which the family's never really thought about before. And they gave me a bit more opportunity to be able to explore that. So there was a mixed reaction. The mates I was mates with at the time of starting trading, I don't see very often anymore. Whether that's a coincidence, I don't know. But it happens. Sometimes you realize that you need to be surrounded by the right people in order to make the right moves. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a very interesting one. What do you make of these account flipping videos on YouTube when they turn a small account into thousands? Yeah, I don't care for it, Park. A lot of the YouTube content I really don't care for. I think it's a money grab and an attempt to attract a load of beginners. So yeah, I don't watch them. I don't bother with it. The beauty of working in the firm is I get to chat to traders like yourself, like Jonathan, like Stephanie, Lucian, and everyone in the Discord as well. That you guys already understand the concept of trading, so I don't have to sit here and teach you how to trade. We can chat about the more in depth stuff. We can chat about the serious kind of let's get real type stuff. That's what I'm very happy with. I've been through so much when it comes to the family believing in it. I want to help them all so much as I come from a poor family. That's good, Jonathan. It's good. Use it as motivation, but don't let it hold you down. Okay, use it as motivation, but don't let it be an anchor. Sometimes reaching for too much too soon to help them can damage you more than what you think. So make sure you relax a little bit and you kind of take it a bit slow. Stephanie, I kept my trading to myself until I could prove to myself that I could do it well. Then I let my family in. Good play, smart move. It shows you thought it out. I think there's a couple of emotional aspects there, which can create further problems. And that's something I like to touch on with a lot of traders as well, is how we treat the outside world or outside factors in our lives can relate into trading. And I've told you guys plenty of times before, my biggest issue when getting trading was I did close my trades too early. I had a fear of losing. And the reason I had that fear of losing is because to everyone who I said, I'll prove you wrong, I can do this, I was scared they were right, that I wouldn't be able to do this. And by having a loss on a trade, that proves that they were right. And it doesn't at all. But that was my mindset at the time. And I didn't realize that that outside factor had a massive play on how I was performing in the market. So when you think of different things like this, you've got to think bigger. You've got to think, okay, how does that really make me feel? And does that actually affect my decision making? Because it does. I can guarantee it does. So it's interesting to hear all your different stories, because it does make a play on it. It does affect. I'll go back onto this so you can see me as I talk here. It does affect how you feel about certain things when it comes down to trading. What's going on around you. So, and that's something I try to teach people in the one-on-one interviews as well. So, thank you for sharing that, Stephanie. I do appreciate it. But just have a think. I'm like, how did you feel about that? Do you feel pressure? Do you feel, do you feel like if you fail, they're not going to care? Do you think they are going to care? Is there someone that's going to go, I told you so? That type of thing. Yeah, exactly right, Stephanie. Exactly right. But then you don't want to feel isolated too. So there's a fine line. I guess it's the beauty of having communities like this is we can openly discuss this. And with me going through your guys' journey before, and I think you've seen since day dot, I'm not going to hide anything. I've been a very open book the whole time, and I always continue to be. Is that we can address these issues together, and I can show you my story and share my story, and hopefully it can help you guys pass the barriers too. Did you ever have any mentors? I did not. Unfortunately not. I wish I did. I wish I did, and I'm also happy I didn't. Because I see a lot of the mentors out there and I'm just kind of like, how are you a mentor? Like they don't help. It's an issue because I always had an issue with authority when it comes down to learning. When I had people that were better than me talk down to me, I didn't like that. I didn't like that very much. And it was more of a sense of, I think I found that during school. It was more of a sense of like the teachers teaching me. I was kind of like, you can't get me to where I want to be. I mean, they're just doing their job and they're lovely people, but they can't get me to where I want to be. And I didn't have any issues where I was like a fight or an argue with everyone. Like, that wasn't the case. It was just I wouldn't listen as much, as intentively, because I didn't believe they could help me. So I guess that probably stopped me from getting a mentor as well. As I had to look around and I was like, I don't know if you could help me. Do you have any mentor, anyone online such as Mark Douglas? I read Mark Douglas's Trading in the Zone, which you mentioned there, which I think is a good book. I think it's very basic. I think there's a lot of topics it does touch on which are good, but it doesn't really give you the whole running plan of what you want. I preferred, what's his name? Let me get his name for you. The Mental Game of Trading by Jared Tendler, an ex-poker coach. I think he was really good in his theories, and I talk a lot about his theories with the whole inchworm effect and the ABC game, and pushing forward with emotions. Jared Tendler, yeah, that's right. Yeah, The Mental Game of Trading, great stuff. That's a truly great book. That's why I didn't bring it up. No misunderstood outside opinions. Yes, Stephanie. Yeah, it's good. It's good that you kept that to yourself. Just have an ask. Maybe sit down, just write a bit and be like, has that made you feel any certain way about decisions in the future, different elements that you want to affect on? Was it harder? Do you feel more secluded? Do you feel more secluded now that you kept that to yourself? That you're the only one that has to do this now? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to poke in or be nosy. Don't worry. It's just what I felt is all these different outside things, they had an effect on how I traded. So it's good to just be aware of what they are, so we understand them, and we can listen to them. She is. Park is on the same wavelength. She is today. Outstanding. Thanks for tuning in, Park. I greatly appreciate it. All right. Well, I said I was going to end it a little early, about half an hour ago. Who's the best trader at the 5ers? That's too cheeky. That is too cheeky. I don't have an answer for that one. I don't have an answer. The beauty, well, not the beauty. The thing is, I'm remote, right? So I'm in Australia. The office is in Israel. So it's a bit of a distance barrier there when it comes around to chatting to them, and understanding how they trade and how I trade, and then coincide. But in terms of the best trader, I don't know. I don't know. Park says Ben. I like the new guy, the customer support guy. Is that what you're laughing at? The daily trading coach seems so good so far too. The daily trading coach. Hi Joel, how you going? The daily trading. Oh, you meant Gil? Oh, right, okay. Yeah, coach. Gil was I've heard he's a very good trader. He is. He's a very busy man, Mr. Gil. Being able to start up all this fantastic company for us and get that all running. But I have heard he's a very good trader. Brett and Steenbarger, 101 lessons for becoming your own trading psychologist. Interesting one. I might have to give that a read. I've never heard of that one. And you recommend that one, Joel? Do you? That's all right. Gil Bender. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, Gil. Yeah, Gil. Top bloke. Absolute top bloke, that guy. He is. He is. All right, guys. I think we might be getting to the end here. I've also just completely crashed my. Are we still live? I think I just completely crashed everything. I got no idea if we're still live right now because all of my internet has just crashed on me. Okay, give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm not sure what's just happened there, but everything has gone missing. As I said, I'm not sure if I'm still live, but I'm assuming I am. My computer. Live. Yeah, okay, I am still live. One moment. Won't be a moment. Just started. You're still on? Okay, thanks, Joel. Thanks, guys. Sorry. One moment. No, we don't want to hear myself. Wow, what a day the technicals have had. Yep, we're still live. Okay, we're still here. Fantastic. Oh, I lost it. No, we're here. Yes, to Brett. What do you see as the vision for the 5ers? Would you like to overtake FTMO? While FTMO is a competitor of ours, we do completely different to what they do. So we don't really focus on what they're doing because we're doing a different. We've got a completely different business model. Okay. Long term, there's a lot of different things in the works. I think you're better off chatting to Gil for that rather than me. But we are looking at rapid expansion and growth on all fronts. There was no expectation, just my own, and it allowed me to focus on trading properly for years. I would also like working alone, so no problem there. Awesome, Stephanie. It's good to hear. That's good to hear. Very good, very good. All right, we're back. But even though I'm back, this is gonna be the end of it here, guys. We're gonna call it here. I've got a little bit over time. My voice needs a rest, and I've got plenty of other work to do. So I want to thank you all for tuning in today. It's been a little bit more mellow, a little bit more personal, and less content to talk about. That's solely because I'm still unwell. If you guys have tune into the Discord, and on Sunday we're gonna put through a trading chart, analyze it, get involved, be a part of the community. It's going to be great fun. There's going to be a few little prizes. There's going to be a couple things out there that's going to be nice to watch. All right, so keep an eye on that. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. I'm not going to be analyzing Bitcoin. Sorry, mate. You've just missed out for that. Park, thank you very much. Happy Easter to you and your family too. I appreciate you tuning in today. Jonathan, absolute pleasure. You've been an absolute chatterbox, and it's been a fantastic chatting to you today. Stephanie, everyone who's tuned in, everyone who's said good day. Andrew, King Jad, you've been here from the very start. Day, Core, Mike, everyone, Joel, Paul. Really, really thanks, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Jules as well. Thanks for tuning in. I know you've been quiet, but you've been there. That's the main thing. Have a fantastic weekend. Rest up. Get ready for the week ahead. Keep your eye out for the economic calendar on Monday, and we'll talk about some fundamentals that are going to come out and what my prediction are on those fundamentals as well. All right, guys. Enjoy.